Hello kids, let us understand the lesson Quality from your literature book Honeycomb. This is written by John Galsworthy. The story is about a German shoemaker who later on dies because of unemployment and lack of money. So let's begin. I knew him from the days of my extreme youth. Extreme youth means very young days, because he made my father's boots. So here the author is talking about the shoemaker. I is the author and he is the shoemaker about whom the author is expressing. He lived with his elder brother in his shop, which was in a small by street in a fashionable part of London. By street means a small street which is aside. The shop had a certain quiet distinction. Distinction means difference or something which is known or completely aloof or completely different than the other things. There was no sign upon it other than the name of Gessler Brothers, and in the window a few pairs of boots. So on that particular street there was nothing put apart from a sign on which it was written Gessler Brothers, and from the window what was actually visible was only the pair of boots that these brothers made for sale. He made only what was ordered, and what he made never failed to fit. So you would never find anything ready-made at this shop. The Gessler Brothers generally made shoes only on demand, and whatever they made never failed to fit. That means their shoemaking was absolutely perfect. To make boots, such boots as he made, seemed to me then and still seems to me mysterious and wonderful. So what is the author saying? That the boots which the Gessler Brothers make, or they had been making all these years, nothing till date could even match that standard. So this was extremely mysterious. I mean, he was actually wondering, he was surprised, he was actually suspicious. How could they make such shoes that would exactly fit you? I remember well my shy remarks. Now the author says he very well remembers his shy remarks. Shy remarks means something which was being spoken in a little shy manner. One day, while stretching out to him my youthful foot. Stretching out to him my youthful foot means extending my leg towards the shoemaker in order to give measurement. Youthful foot. The way in which this is written, youthful foot, it means that in my young days when I was over there to give the measurement of my foot, that is the reason it is mentioned as youthful foot. Isn't it awfully hard to do, Mr. Gessler? Awfully means terribly hard or horribly hard. So the author is asking Mr. Gessler, the shoemaker, that is it not very difficult for you to make such shoes? And his answer given with a sudden smile from out of the redness of his beard, it is an art. Now just pay attention to the way this is written. It is an art. Just because the Gessler Brothers belonged to Germany, they had a different accent in which they were speaking English. So it is an art is nothing else but it is simply it is an art. And redness of his beard, that means his face, he was absolutely a fair complexioned man whose face was very fair, and the moment he smiled or tried to say something, it turned red. So that is why it is written as sudden smile out of the redness of his beard. That is, he must be having a brownish red beard. It was not possible to go to him very often. His boots lasted terribly, having something beyond the temporary, some essence of boot stitched into them. So now the author is also saying that you couldn't actually go to him again and again to order shoes or to make new shoes, because whatever he made, it actually lasted so long, it was completely beyond temporary, it was as good as a permanent lasting, that some essence of the boot stitched into them, that is some entity, you can say. Essence of the boot means some entity, as in there was something in those shoes because of which the shoes would never ever get spoiled. One went in, not as into most shops, but restfully as one enters a church, and sitting on a single wooden chair waited. So whenever one used to enter into his shop, Gessler Brothers shop, one would never feel that you are going in a shop. One would always feel that you are actually entering into a church, going and sitting very peacefully on a wooden chair and waiting for somebody to say something. A guttural sound and the tip-tap of his slippers beating the narrow wooden stairs, and he would stand before one without coat, a little bent, in leather apron with sleeves turned back, blinking as if awkward with some dream of boots. So a guttural sound. What is a guttural sound? A harsh grating sound. In very simple words, whenever you hear the sound of a sound such as like gad gad gad, that is called as a guttural sound. The typical sound which I made right now, that is how you express the word guttural. So the tip tap of the slippers is what actually you were able to hear when you used to walk on his floors. So whenever this man came before you, he was always without a coat. He was a little bent because he often used to check people's foot. At the same time, he was wearing a leather apron and his sleeves of his shirt were turned back. Blinking, that is winking his eyes, aankhein michkana, as if as if awakened from some dream of boots. So you used to feel as if he was dreaming of some boots, and in which suddenly he has opened his eyes. And I would say, "How do you do, Mr. Gessler? Could you make me a pair of Russian leather boots?" So now the author is asking Mr. Gessler, would he make him a pair of Russian leather boots? Without a word, he would leave me retiring whence. Retiring whence means completely making me shy and asking me to leave from that place. So whence is a place or a source. He came, or into the other portion of the shop, and I would continue to rest in the wooden chair, inhaling the incense of his trade. What is the meaning of incense of a trade? So whenever the author used to go to the shop asking for a pair of boot, then he used to sit there giving his measurement, and while Mr. Gessler used to do the needful or the work that was required to take the measurements or to make the boots, author was sitting on the chair and relaxing, and what he could actually sense was the incense of his trade. Incense is a typical smell that comes, and in this case this smell is of the leather, because it is a leather shop, because it is a shop where boots are made, so the smell of the leather was everywhere. That is why it is mentioned incense of his trade. Soon he would come back, holding in his hand a piece of golden brown leather. With eyes fixed on it, he would remark, as is he would particularly express, "What a beautiful piece." Now again the German accent. What a beautiful piece. He himself used to get very happy with whatever raw material he had in his shop. When I too had admired it, he would speak again. Now Mr. Gessler already knew that the author has liked that piece of leather which he had got, but still he would admire it and say it again. "When do you want them?" That is, when do you want them? And I would answer, "Oh, as soon as you conveniently can." This means the moment you make it, I want it. And he would say, "Tomorrow fortnight." And then he used to say, "Tomorrow fortnight," as in approximately after 15 days. Or If he were his elder brother, I will ask my brother. If Mr. Gessler's elder brother would be the one who would be taking measurements and not the actual shoemaker, then his elder brother would generally reply, I would ask my brother. Then I would murmur. Murmur means speak something or burble something within your own mouth which is inaudible or completely not at all possible for somebody else to listen to whatever you have spoken. Then I would murmur, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Gessler. Good morning, he would reply, still looking at the leather in his hand. Still he was busy looking at the leather piece and not really bothering about the customer who was sitting. And as I moved to the door, I would hear the tip-tap of his slippers going up the stairs to his dream of boots. So now here Mr. Gessler, he used to move back to his work area where he used to sit and make the boots for his customers as if that was his dreamland.